Hello. Kitten was showing us some of the stuff that she'd crocheted, and we've been back and forth a little bit, and I'm a member of the, what's the group? There's like a handicrafts group, and so I thought, well, pottery is kind of difficult, but knitting isn't as difficult as it seems. And so I want to show you a few things that my mother has knitted. I don't have anything I knitted. I knitted some sweaters, and I haven't knitted for a long time, but I'm going to show you how to do it easily anyway. I just want to show you how beautiful things you can make by knitting. This is a Shetland pattern or Irish sweater. It has a name, this weaving that goes on, the crisscrossing. You see on the inside, my mom knits beautifully. It's just all so even. And then we have, this one's colored. The blue it's been unlucky and washed, but this is a Norwegian traditional jacket called a kofte, and then you usually have tin buttons on them. There are very many different patterns. K-O-F-T-E, and you can find tons of pictures on the web. This is called a Marius sweater, and these are the traditional colors for it, red, white, and blue. And it is knit the way I'm going to show you with a piece in a second. That you have here, it's just one knit, one purl, and then it's just knit, 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 knit on a round knitting needle until you get here. Then you divide it in two, and you knit this bit up, the back up separately, and then you hook on. The way I do it is I just sort of loop in and grab loops inside the edge. My mom has sewn these together. I think she knitted the arms separately. And this is another variation of it. This one I stole from my brother when he grew out of it. And this one my mom knitted for me. And yes, it is pink. No, it's, what is it? Pinkish gray. It's old-fashioned pink, we call it. Anyway, and then on mine, you see, she's knitted the neck a little bit up. So those are those. And then I'm going to take you over here, and down there is my knitting stuff. And I'm going to turn this screen around so I see what's going on. And I'm going to put you on the laundry basket of all things. I'm going to see if I can get you looking over my shoulder. Let's see. Oh, I'm too old for this. Okay, do we have enough light? I'm not so sure. It'll work. It'll work. Okay, so these round knitting needles I was telling you about. These are one of the secrets of Norwegian knitting or Scandinavian knitting, because then you just knit, 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 knit. You don't have to change direction all the time. You can knit the whole body of the sweater or whatever in one piece. Even when they knit these koftas, they have a technique where they do a special sort of knitting where they're going to open it up, and then they can open it up later and put the buttons in and whatnot. Put the edging on and put the buttons in. So what these basically are is two knitting needles, quite short, and then some plastic wire. And now, and Kitten, don't you dare laugh at me. I haven't laid up for knitting for a long time, so this is going to be a lesson for both you and me. And also, another thing I do, when I buy skeins of garn, garn is Norwegian. Sorry, I'm in Norwegian mode today for some reason. What I do, you know, you start out with a little thing like this, right? Well, I leave some of it off, about that much. And then I start winding it up into a ball. And the thing is that then, afterwards, I have this, I know where the middle of the yarn is. And that means that it's not going to roll around while I'm knitting because I'm pulling from the middle as I go. You can't wind it too tight, but that's the technique anyway. So, first things first, you need to make just a simple loop. That's the first. You get your knitting needle. This one has been curled a while, so it's a bit difficult, but let's see here. So you slip the loop on, like that, and you tighten it. And that's important, keep this tight. Now, you've got to see how I'm holding it. I'm holding both for the tension, and I've got it slipped over there now. Hang on. I'll show you this way. When you bend it down, see how you make a loop there? You grab that, then you take this one and slip it around, and you slip this back over and tighten. Hey, I'm impressed. Did you see that? I did it on the first try. Sometimes I really can't do this. So, by the edge of the thumb, then you wrap this one around, and that makes the loop. So you keep going for a while. I'll just lay up a few. And this one tends to get a bit long, so you just stop and go back to it again. And a good technique, if you want to knit like kind of freehand, you take a measurement of whatever you're going to knit. Like if you're going to knit a sweater, you need the waist measurement. And then you add a little. And then you start out by just making 10 of these. Again, in there, wrap that one around and just throw this one back over, tighten. And again, are you seeing this? In there, wrap that one around and tighten. Okay. What you do is you do like 10 or 20 musket masks, they're called in Norwegian. Are they in English? Not quite sure anymore. So say 10 or 20, and then you knit a certain amount up, you know, a nice piece like that, like 10 centimeters, what's that, 6 inches, 5-6 inches. And then you will see how you knit, because if you knit tightly, it will probably be smaller, or it will be smaller than if you knit loosely, and that depends on your technique. Some people knit very tightly, some people knit loosely. Okay, that's enough of that. Next step, pull one needle out. Okay, now this looks more complicated than it is because this thing is curling around, but let's see here. So you've got there's the loose bit. That one you just get rid of. Now, the secret to Norwegian knitting is using your left hand. So get this up over the knitting needle, grab some wool, okay? Wrap it over your finger, under, over, under. Hang on, how do I do this? I go like this, loop it around, over, under, over, so that you have quite a bit of tension, and you have that there. Now, for each loop, mask, whatever, instead of this bringing it over from your right hand, you're just holding it there. You stick your needle through, you grab the thread, you pull it back, and you're ready for the next one. Stick it through, loop it around, and you're done. Are you seeing this? Okay, I'm trying to get in position so you can see it. Okay, stick the needle through, grab the, and this is then straight knitting. Purl, I'll do purl on the next one. Let's see, and knit. Come down here. I'm getting all bent out of shape. Okay, and again. Okay, here we go. This is working. All right, just stick the needle in, grab a loop, pull it through, and you're finished with that one. Needle in. And Mom tells this story. She is a great knitter. Most young women in Norway do knit. Everybody learns to knit at school. I remember my cousin, he really hated it. All these loops all the time, he said. Okay, so it can be a bit tight on the first row because of these, but it will, when you stretch it out, it will even out. There we go. And one more. Oops. Here we go. Come on. There. Okay. So, and then since I'm knitting back and forth on this one, now we'll purl. Always on the first mask, you just lift it off. Otherwise, the edge is going to be too long. So now we're purling. That means instead of sticking it through this way, you stick it through from, hang on, I'm getting wobbly here. There we go. You stick it in through this way, you grab the thread the other way around, you pull it through. There we go. And see how much simpler this is than the American way or British way of knitting? I saw this woman on the tram once, and she was knitting the British American way, and I just I nearly went over to her and told her, "Ma'am, you just can't knit like that. You'll never get it finished." So just stick it on through, and there we go. We've already knitted almost 2 rows. Oops, careful with that. Oh, I always keep my finger on it and just slip it off. That way you don't lose as much. See how easy this is? So much simpler. And I'm going to show you something, one of my many projects. I don't know which kid I was making this for. It's a sweater. The bottom of the sweater here is just knit 2, purl 2. And then I've had this pattern of knitting and purling that makes these bumpy things. And I've been knitting it on, you see, I'm all the way up to the arms. And so I've set aside half the piece there, right? And I've got this piece that I'm now knitting up to the length I want the arms here. Okay? So, and then when I finish that, I knit the other side. When I get to the top, I crochet the 2 together, and then I just grab, I'll just show you very simply, and it might be cheating, but I find that it actually gives, it doesn't give a seam, it just gives a softer edge to it all. I just go along the edge and grab like this. It's not easy, I never said it was easy, but I just go through and just make my edge. There we go. Here it comes. There. See? Like that. And then I just start knitting along that. Of course, you have to figure out how many masks or loops you need to make to get the arm to be the right size. So this is just... Oh, damn. I'm not showing you. Here we go. See? I just stick the knitting needle in and just grab a loop. Oh, damn. As I said, it's not necessarily easy, but there we go. See, and then you get them and you just start knitting along. And you can use a round needle for that as well. You need a shorter one though. They are in different, you can get them in different lengths. So, that's how to knit. Try it out, really. It does, I mean, look at the beautiful things that my mother knits using this technique. It's just so much easier. So much easier than the American English way of doing it. So, enjoy. Knit yourself a sweater. Show me. Ciao. Okay, start with a scarf.